our two new geo operators from Spain. Now let's talk about Mira for a moment. She is our objective defender. Now Mira is an architect in the very sense of the word. On one side, she's able to strongly establish a position, bringing comfort to the team and line of sights, while on the opposite side, she creates a real threat by making life tough for enemies who dare to get close. Now, moving on to Mira, of course, our objective defender, our 3-armor objective defender. Tell us a little bit about Mira.
Well, Mira is our architect. We designed her from the get-go to be a side player. We wanted her to, bring the team together in setting up the defenses. You can't just, if you pick Mira, you can't just put those mirrors everywhere. You have to coordinate with you. But now you can see she's putting those black mirrors on reinforced walls, and there is a bulletproof window. But the key feature about this mirror is that she can see through it, her team can see through it on the side that she put it on the wall, but on the other side you won't see anything inside. You just have this black reflective surface. And so we really wanted her to be able to set up the defenses the way she wants, and to make the approach for the attackers super hard. You have to be very cautious, because when you get in front of a black mirror, you have no clue. You have no clue if something.
But there's a little wrinkle you guys put in here, right?
Yes.
What does that do?
Well, when you can eject the mirror and then make plays from behind, so you always have this window of opportunity.
Window of opportunity. Simon with the great puns there.
And yeah, so she's also a playmaker, but this goes both ways. This canister, you can melee it or shoot at it, but everyone can do so. So if an attackers get behind your defenses, you can actually eject the window and create this super dangerous line of fire on your side. So you have to be very wary, and you have to defend those mirrors. That's super important.
That's going to be really interesting how that plays out, and potentially some interesting play with Hibana as well that we might see. But that's really cool. Thank you so much for introducing Mira to us. Is there anything else that, how do you think that the strategy might play out with her and counter strategy?
It's going to be pretty interesting, because the mirror is destructible. If you put a thermite charge around it, it's going to blow up. But you also have some interesting strats on the defense side of things. There's a certain operator that we all cherish and love that got a buff last December.
Yeah, I was about to ask, are we going to see a Tachenka meta?
Well, Tachenka has this gigantic shield in front of his face, but now he's going to be able to have a very safe line of fire through those ejected mirrors. So there's place for creativity. We might see.
Yeah, but that will be really great. I see a LMG deployed sign out there with Tachenka fans. Do we have any Tachenka fans out here? Yeah. Woo! Nice. Awesome. So really interesting. Blitz mains are also going to be really happy about that, and mute mains for sure. That will be really cool. The defender. We saw some really interesting placements of the black mirror on using a reinforced wall and an unreinforced wall. So there were a couple balance things there. What did you think about Mira's ability in general and her placements of her black mirror?
Yeah, so the black mirrors are really good at getting intel, but when you open it, by shooting the canister, it's a one-time use, right? You open it, and then now it's like a Hibana hole, right? So you have to be really careful as to when you're opening it. Usually you want to keep it for the end of the round when it really matters. So that's what I tried to do as much as possible. And the way to do this is you just put the black mirror, and then you don't reinforce the wall on the right next to it, and so you can shoot through the wall.
And you did get a super cool nitro cell double kill.
Yeah.
You baited them with the mirror.
Right. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. The one cool thing about usually we like to destroy the wall between two bomb sites just to give a quick transition. But now I feel with Mira, you have that information on the other side without being vulnerable. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if.
Yeah, we saw a few times where you'd have the reinforced wall but then you'd put the black mirror there, and you'd be able to see if there was anybody coming through, and you'd be able to easily create a kill hole if needed.
Yeah, yeah. If the attackers pay attention to the mirror, you just keep it there, and you waste their time. Because time is super valuable, but if they start not paying attention to it and they act as if nothing's going on, nothing's there, then you can open it and you can get some really cool moments that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a montagne, like he's there, you can't ignore him, but if you do ignore him, well, you're screwed.
Yeah, there's a surprise waiting for you very often on the other side of that mirror.
We definitely saw an interesting montagne play there.
Yeah.
Montagne.
Yeah. We saw an interesting montagne play there where they used the shield to sort of block the view, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then someone opened it, and then I had to pay attention to it. Yeah, I mean, Mountain is really, I don't know, I feel like they're just going to stare at each other and really communicate, what's going on if their mirror is open. But I'm really excited to see, more Mountain play, because the mirrors are going to make the defenders roam a lot less, and the roamers are really the counter to Mountain, so we're going to see some more like mountain plants or stuff like that. I think mountain is going to be more useful in this season.
Awesome.
And Black Mirrors, Mira. I really don't know. On some, it's going to take a lot of time because the combinations you can do with her, it's going to take a lot of time to figure out. I feel like people are just going to discover her like every week.
I think map knowledge with Mira. If you got good map knowledge, you're going to be rewarded with playing her. You're going to get really nice lines.
Definitely. It's like one of those really high skill cap character, like Valkyrie, So it's going to take a lot of time for people to realize her potential.
You really have to know where the right angles are, where the right placements are, because at first in one of the early rounds, you put one of her gadgets up, and you were looking right at the bomb.
yeah, exactly. It's tough, especially on this new map. It's pretty tough to find good placements, but yeah, I feel like on newer, on older maps, it's going to make them change so much that like the metagame is going to shift like tremendously, especially like on Chalet, Basement. Stuff like that, I feel like it's going to be really good again.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of interesting things happening with garage pushes in Velvet Shell.